Okay, so we'll try this. This is always fun recording yourself. So, looking at the reflective video, one of the first questions was, I'm looking at my notes, was review the learning objectives. After reviewing them, one of the things I'm looking most forward to is obviously finishing the course. And secondly, really the legal implications of what being an administrator is involved. I support my fellow teachers and my principal in doing a lot of principal-like roles, especially with disciplining. A lot of the teachers send their kids to my class to deal with the kids, and I always want to make sure that I'm following whatever the legal rules are for that. How do I feel that the learning objectives relate to your current and future role as an educational administrator? I think, again, I'm going to try not to answer that next question. I think being able to understand the legal implications and all the things that being a transformational leader is, supporting teachers, especially in an environment where there are unions and teachers have a lot of support in making sure that they stay in their position, that it's important to know how do I inspire teachers to want to do their very best versus it's not a typical leadership or management, which is where I come from. I come from a business leadership for 18 years, working for Jack in the Box. But it was a different environment. If somebody wasn't necessarily doing what they needed to do, there was the ability to remove said person, where it's more difficult in the school environment. Of course, I'm not implying that I think that you should just fire people when they're not doing a good job. I've always been about building people up and trying to help them to do their very best. As far as the assignment tab, I'm not very concerned. I agree with the information on the webinar. I'm sure it's the first 2 classes in the learning curve that will be difficult. Once understand what the assignments are and how they work, it'll be much easier to kind of dive in and do it. And I think I jumped in thinking it was going to be the old way, and it was like, okay, where's my discussion one tab? I do that Monday mornings. Like, I had my system for doing everything, so it was a little like, well, what? I'm confused. But I feel as each day goes by and the more talking with my cohorts, that it's getting easier and easier to kind of understand where everything's going to be. Overall, what am I looking for out of this? Again, I'm looking to finish. I'm looking to get my admin credential. And I'm looking to get all the knowledge and information that I need to be the best administrator that I can be, the most supportive to my teachers, the most open and supportive to not only the parents but the students, and really building an atmosphere of family, taking what I'm doing in the classroom and really expanding that, which is interesting because, again, when I first came into teaching, which was approximately, this is my 3rd year teaching. I spent 18 years working for Jack in the Box in the private sector. Hated it. Made a lot of money, but hated it. And always wanted to be a teacher. And after being in management, I thought the last thing I would do is be a principal. I want to be in my classroom. I want to be in my 4 walls. I'll collaborate with my fellow teachers, but that was it. I didn't want to have to worry about anybody else. I wanted to come, do the best job I could, and not have to spend time at night worrying about what other people were doing, which was a reflection of me. But being in teaching and having an amazing supervisor who has really helped me to see that it's great that I can impact the lives of 32 kids, but that with my strengths and abilities, that it would be a shame for me not to expand that to be able to impact 400 kids, 1,400 kids, and so on and so forth. And I really see that possibly not stopping at principal and getting into administration and being able to really impact far more lives. Maybe, you know, Secretary of Education at some point. Who knows? The experience and expertise that I bring is I think coming into teaching a little bit older, having been a mother, having been in management, I joke in some aspects, employees at Jack in the Box are not much different than 5th graders. So really having an experience of leadership and trying to support and help people grow into the best leaders that they can be, I think gives me some expertise in doing that, and understanding some of the legal ramifications of being an employer, what you can say, what you can't, doing interviews. Some of those things those pieces would come easier to me going into a leadership position than somebody who hasn't had the leadership experience. So I think that's the expertise that I bring to the table. I hope this is how we were supposed to do this reflective video. If not, I'm sure my grade will reflect that. Have a great day, and it's nice to meet you in this format.